All right, time to chat about some things.
Oh man, the lighting's wrong for full flex.
So, when you have a truck like the Moose, sometimes you gotta clear some trails. So this little Milwaukee Hello everyone, I'm Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, and in today's video is going to be an update to the upcoming Canada trip. If you've been following the different social media platforms, you'll know that here this summer, in I think it's just about 2 weeks actually, we were going to take a trip up to the Trans-Tiaga up in Canada, which is, for those of you who are unaware, the most remote place in North America that you can get to via vehicles, like the most remote road in North America, right? Pretty cool, scenic little trip. And if you've also been following the news recently, there has been an abundance of wildfires and everything, and they've shut down the Providence, and you know, all these like really bad things kind of happening with that. So we've been kind of keeping an eye on that and trying to figure out like some kind of a backup plan. And what we have kind of evolved into over the last week is we want to have a backup plan set in place in the event that we are unable to go. Well, the group of us that are going have kind of sat down and decided, like, hey, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Like, and if it does, you know, if we go up there, are we going to be able to see anything because the smoke or the wildfire is going to get in the way and cut off parts of the route, and you know, all these different things. So basically we decided to just focus on a backup plan, and that backup plan is going to be Wyoming BDR, the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Route. And we are going to be running that in reverse, essentially starting with section 8, so it's like sectioned off. And a little brief history from what I've understand is the BDR is originally meant for like the adventure bike people, you know, like those adventure motorcycles, which is pretty cool, but you can't do like 4x4s, and there's not really much out there on the web as far as like the overlanding aspect of that. So with that, unfortunately, we ended up losing half of the group with that, just due to multiple different reasons. So moment of silence for those not coming on the trip for us. All right, so with that, the ones who are coming on the trip is going to be the team lead, so Patrick from Orbis Overlanding, who has kind of organized this whole route and everything. He's still going to be the team lead on this. And then behind him is going to be my buddy Scott, who is a fireman as well as a paramedic, who's going to have his Ford Ranger towing a trailer, and he's kind of like our medic. And behind him is going to be Fletch from All Things Overlanding. I'm sure some of you are familiar with his YouTube page. He does a lot of overlanding stuff for like beginners, and has different groups like the, I believe it's Wannabe Overlanding Group or Newbies Overlanding Group, something like that. No, Wannabes is Cody. Cody's unfortunately not going to be with us on this trip. Anyway, so the last person is going to be myself and the recovery rig, because, well, we have a Subaru, a Ford Ranger, a Nissan Frontier, and this thing going, so it should be interesting. I've been known to sink in the soft mud, which apparently there's a lot of in Wyoming, so this should be interesting. I'm definitely not going to try to get myself stuck and watch a Subaru pull me out. Anywho, so just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update. And I mentioned earlier we're going to be running in reverse, so the plan is still leaving same time and all that. And we're going to travel up through South Dakota into the Badlands National Park. I believe we're going to camp there one night because it's kind of like a nice midway point out there. And because if you've ever driven out west from the Midwest, it's not a fun drive. I think from my house in Michigan here to where I usually elk hunt and live in Colorado is 17.5 hours, and most of the time we just go, and it's not fun. But anyway, So we're gonna kind of stop there at the Badlands National Park, so that'll be really cool to camp at. And then from there, we're going to head up to, I forget the name of the town, but it's basically gonna be like the tippy top of Wyoming, Montana border, and start that route, head all the way down south until we get to Colorado, where we're going to do a day or two on the Colorado BDR. So that will be really sweet. It'll give me a chance to get back to Colorado because I absolutely love going there, and I haven't been there in probably about 3 years now, I think. I'll go ahead and post up my little video series from the last time I was in Colorado with the Rebel, if you guys want to check that out. And with that, I'm still excited. You know, obviously we're all bummed out that we're unable to do it, but what do? You're not going to stop Mother Nature. So this backup route, I think, is going to be really good for us. It's going to be a beautiful scenery. It's going to be nice. I do believe there are a little bit of technical stuff out there, so we'll be able to get out, have a little bit of fun. So driving, you know, a bunch of highway, and really looking forward to it. I'm still bringing Caitlin and Ivory, so that is going to be a great family trip for the summer for us. And the nice thing is I should be saving a lot on fuel, because one of these stops, or northernmost fuel stations that we found in Quebec, is $7 at this time, $7.11 a gallon for diesel. So that will be fun not having to do that, at least. So look on the bright side of things. So in the meantime, with that, I've kind of been, and we just finalized everything about the details of that as of last night. So I'm filming this on a Thursday. We had our meeting Wednesday, and then I'll be posting this on a Friday. So everything's evolving pretty quickly, which there wasn't really much detail we had to hash out, just kind of, you know, some little things here and there, especially with losing our camp chefs. So we have to divulge a different plan for that, which, good thing Caitlin is a really good cook, because I'm volunteering here. But I've been kind of switching things around for a more focused US based trip. Now going into Canada, they have different laws restricting some things that we are able to use here in the US. And so I've kind of redone the inside of the truck for that. And I'll also be changing some of the things that I am bringing on this trip, strictly because we're not going to be so remote. We'll still be out there, but we're not going to be so remote to where if we like needed to get into town for like within a day, we can still do that. So the packing list is definitely changing for this trip, but nonetheless, I'm still very excited, and it will be a heck of a good time. And of course, I'll be bringing you guys along. I know Fletch is going to make his own video, and him and I are going to kind of collaborate on different things for filming. He's got a drone. I recently sold mine, and I do not think for this trip I'll have a new one in time, so I will be running around with the camera as he's flying a drone. Having the skinny guy is going to be a great addition to this trip, and especially with bringing out the family. Well, it's enough of that. I'm going to go load some things up for an upcoming camping trip this week. Like, share, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Hit the little bell notification so you get notified every time I post a video. Typically every Friday I try to. Hey, look, another ram. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one.